Here it is.
All right, stand by.
Got it.
Hit it. A, CGN.
Straight ahead on WGXA, a gun show in Macon.
Stand by B.
Restrictions are debated in Washington. Hear from gun owners, buyers, and sellers on how to make dealing firearms safer.
B.
Plus, construction that could help boost the economy.
Stand by A.
Helicopters give a lift to Macon's new Tractor Supply warehouse.
Now.
And a Crusaders
Stand by 2.
Alzheimer's takes a pit stop in Middle Georgia during his trek across the U.S.
Now. Stand by to fade to black.
WGXA is next.
Fade to black. All right.
1 minute.
1 minute. Stand by camera. And cue them. CGN.
Meteorologist Quentin Bourgeois. Yesterday evening, it was the wedge we were dealing with. Today, a little bit of the wedge.
CGL.
More of a cold front. Take a look at temperature in Columbus when we started our morning. 55 degrees in Columbus, 53 in Savannah. But we go north just a little bit, and temperatures in the 30s and the 40s here in Macon and Dublin. And as we progress throughout the afternoon, the cloud cover, that all had to do with
Again, we're going to Thunder 2 bump, camera 2, staying on that camera, followed by package and A.
And Gainesville and Rome. Here in Macon, we were right at 59 for our daytime high, Dublin at
30
61, 71 in Alma. And as we progress throughout the day, the clouds begin to fade off the map, but we're still holding on to the 60s. We're all going to level out at a common temperature as we head throughout the overnight hours as this clouds begin to dissipate throughout the viewing area. But as of right now, that cold front is still lingering to the south, just around Valdosta. That's why we see the 60s there. But as this front continues to push south, we will see everyone head into the lower 40s.
Stand by Thunder 2.
And I think that's what
Stand by camera 2.
Tomorrow morning. But a big difference in temperature overall. Yesterday we were looking at temperatures minus 13 degrees below average. Today 12 degrees above average in Athens. Here in Macon, we're just 8 degrees cooler than what we were yesterday. The wedge will move back into the forecast tomorrow, and so are rain chances. Details on that.
Stand by Thunder 2.
But the news starts right now.
Hit it. Stand by camera 2.
Your source for local news. This is News Central on Fox 24.
Cue 'em.
And good evening, I'm Shonti T. Thanks for watching WGXA at 10. Organizers
Package
of
and
the
A.
gun show in Macon would not let WGXA cameras inside the Centerplex to check out the firearms today. So that didn't stop WGXA's Cristen D from asking owners, buyers, and sellers
package and A.
important questions about how to keep guns out of the wrong hands.
Now.
Lines wind out to the parking lot at the Eastman Gun Show in Macon Saturday. Many gun enthusiasts like Tim Phelps are not only here to buy guns and ammunition, but to sell their firearms.
Don't forget, 7, like I told you last week, this is on that open. Keep an eye on that monitor so you can cue him when he pops up.
Hundreds of private gun owners who brought firearms to the show. Under current laws in the U.S., background checks are not required for sales between private sellers and buyers. While the rules, or lack thereof, can be a cause for concern, sellers
total time 147. 147. Standard out cue. Cristen Drummond, WGXA. Tagging on camera 2. Going to camera 1.
And they're cleared to own a firearm.
Tighter background checks for buyers may soon be coming as U.S. leaders debate gun regulations in Washington. But many people at the gun shows say they do not agree. Why don't you need it?
It's just more control over a citizen of what he does, a legal citizen.
Vendors like Susan Watson have to jump through some hoops before selling at her booth. She has to hold a federal firearm
30 seconds.
And perform background checks on people.
Standard out cue. Cristen Drummond, WGXA. Going to camera 2, followed by camera 1. Then we got a VO and B.
But now she's concerned that a gun might fall into the wrong hands.
People are crazy out there. So. And used to, I would have felt like, man, that's their business. Do what you do, but I feel a little different now.
As for Phelps, who sold his gun, he's hopeful he'll be able to keep attending gun shows
no
matter
camera 1.
what changes are made.
It's a part of our.
Got around 10 seconds left. Standard out cue. Going to camera 2, then camera 1.
Opportunity to come and see some firearms.
5 seconds.
Things that you don't normally
stand by.
Cristen Drummond, WGXA.
Take. Stand by camera 1.
They won't allow any new gun restrictions to be adopted in Georgia. Meanwhile, Governor Nathan Deal has not endorsed proposals to lift restrictions on where people can carry their weapons.
Now.
Well, the gun debate is raging on
CGN,
in Washington, D.C.
VO and B.
Thousands of people
Now.
rallied to the nation's capital today demanding...
Got a VO and A. Going to VO and A next.
Demonstrators are calling for a federal ban on assault
We're going to fade it up.
and high-capacity magazines. They're also asking Congress to require universal background checks for gun sales. So this weekend's march, which was met by pro-gun demonstrators, was the first major rally in Washington since last month's school shooting in Newtown, Connecticut.
Fade it up.
In Georgia, more people are learning how to arm themselves safely.
Going to camera 1 next.
The department says it's seeing an overwhelming
followed by VO and B.
gun seminar the department has been putting on for 2 years. Usually around 100 people attend. But this year they had to move to the class to a local middle school with more than 500 people.
Stand by, camera 1.
Police say they're glad people want to be responsible gun owners.
Now, stand by, B on B.
Police officers are out of a job after being accused of stealing a $25,000 backhoe.
Now,
a quick check of Bibb County's inmate records show
going to camera 2 next.
Guidry and 32-year-old John Wantz have been released on bond. An email from police spokesperson Jamie Godet says both are no longer employed by the MPD. The two are accused of hauling off a Kubota backhoe from the back lot of a Macon plumbing business on Roth Avenue and driving the backhoe to Guidry's home in Juliet. The manager at the plumbing business
stand by, camera 2.
The backhoe using a GPS signal installed in all the company's equipment.
Now, CGN.
The construction project that's expected to
bring
hundreds of jobs to Middle Georgia is getting lift.
Now,
20 air conditioning parts for airlift.
Got a Sot and B next.
Tractor Supply Warehouse in Macon's new I-75 business park today. Construction on a new distribution center began last year and is scheduled to be completed this summer. The 690,000 square foot building is funded by SPLOST money. The developers say it has the potential to bring economic development to the area.
Now,
we consider this to be
citizens in this community is the queue.
There will be other tag-along businesses that come that will offer further opportunities for the citizens in this community.
Queue. Stand by, camera 1 for a reader. No CG.
200 to 315 jobs for the new warehouse. Construction is set to be complete by August, with the first shipments leaving by September.
On 1. This is a reader.
The school board has scheduled a meeting for Thursday where they expected to decide.
I'll tell you when to change it.
Superintendent Romain Dallimont. Dallimont has reportedly asked board members to buy him out of his contract, which is currently under dispute in court.
And change CG.
Across the country for
BO and A next.
Makes a stop in Macon.
Now.
2-year-old Jack Fussell stopped in at
got
the
a Sot and B next.
Ate lunch with the Central Georgia chapter of the Alzheimer Association. Fussell is running across the land in about 8 months to raise more than $250,000 for the Georgia chapter. He's been training for this run for 10 years and started his journey 2 weeks ago in Savannah.
Stand by, Sot and B.
Alzheimer offices in 32 towns on his run in order to bring awareness about the disease.
Now,
I think you have to come to a point in your life where you have to start giving back as much as you can to everyone.
Getting the encouragement is the cue.
Go to
Encouragement.
Places, things like this to keep encouraging people. And I'm finding out that maybe I'm
the
one that's getting the encouragement.
Cue. Stand by 2. Stand by music.
2000. If you'd like to follow his journey, visit our website, newscentralga.com, and click on this story for a link to his blog.
Now, music in. B.O.N.A.
Chambliss is retiring from his post in Washington, D.C.
Now,
coming up on
stand by 3.
The reaction from the crowd on Capitol Hill, plus a look at who might replace the senator to represent the state of Georgia.
On 3.
Well,
CGN.
Got off to a warm
stand by graphics
as we head throughout the day. Kind of hit the ceiling, and that was right around average. And I think
fade it up.
Lows, they'll be right around average.
Stand by the fade to black.
And we're also tracking our next rain chance. Full forecast after the break.
And fade to black in 2. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Stand by to fade it up. Fade it up.
Well, the moon shining bright over Macon in central Georgia today, but not quite full yet. Full moon officially at 11:38 this afternoon. That will make it the second full moon since the December solstice, and it's also known as the wolf moon, hunger moon, or the snow moon, but nonetheless, it won't affect our temperatures much. 38 degrees here in downtown Macon under the clear skies. Winds coming in from the west, northwest at about 5 miles per hour. Notice, not getting much in the way of rainfall this week, but that's going to change the rest throughout the next week. Temperature forecast for the rest of this evening at midnight, 39 degrees. Slight warmth at 4 o'clock. We're looking at 40 degrees, but when we wake up first thing tomorrow morning, I say everyone wakes up to temperatures in the 30s. As we head south of I-16, we'll see temperatures in the 40s to wake up. Current temperatures across the viewing area, 41 in Monticello, 45 in Sparta. We start to get into the 30s as we get to Wrightsville, into Forsyth, into Macon. As we head south of I-16, see the 40s back on the maps once again. 44 in Butler as well as Thomaston, 45. Lower 40s in Americas, Montezuma, and Hawkinsville. Still a warm 48 in Cordele. As we wake up first thing tomorrow morning, you can see temperatures across the viewing area. You're going to see I-16 and north of I-75, northern portion of I-75. That's going to be the dividing line. As we head south of Warner Robins into Dublin, start to see the 40s on the map for Butler, Montezuma, and McCrae. Head north of I-16, so to see temperatures in the 30s. Now, as we progress throughout the afternoon tomorrow, We're going to go south of I-16. We see temperatures in the 60s.
2 minutes.
North of I-16, expect temperatures in the upper 50s. So it's going to be a pretty average day tomorrow. Still going to feel a slight influence from the wedge tomorrow as well. And temperatures, you can bump them down just a little bit possibly. First look ahead, Sunday, 8 o'clock a.m. The mostly cloudy skies at the beginning of the day. The clouds are going to stick around for much of the day. And notice the lower level clouds are coming in from the east off the coast, and the upper level clouds are coming in from the west. We're going to get some slight convergence, and it may trigger some isolated showers across the view, and they're mostly going to be to the north. So we got a very small chance, some light sprinkles as we progress throughout our Monday. And it's going to be the same story for Tuesday as well. Clouds are going to break here and there. You may see some peaks of sunshine. Overnight clouds will come back into forecast and play, and also the light chances of showers and storms on Tuesday as well. As we take a look at the extended forecast, our next rain chance comes in on Wednesday. This is our two models, European model in blue, GFS in green. And right now I'm more leaning towards the GFS. It's been pretty consistent with this system.
1 minute.
And the European is coming into more consistency with the GFS. So we can expect rain showers first thing in the morning, 5 o'clock on Wednesday, as we progress throughout the midday, 3 p.m. The heaviest of the showers pushing through. And as we get throughout our Wednesday afternoon, we start to see 10 o'clock p.m. The showers are done with the GFS. But if we go with the European, as the system begins to slow down, we start to see the rain chances in on Wednesday, 10 o'clock, the heaviest downpours. But the story is, by the time Thursday comes along, we'll be done with the rain at all. So best bet is rain showers on our Wednesday afternoon. Upper level flow is showing right now. We're still getting a little bit of northerly flow from our upper level pattern, but as we progress throughout the week, we start to see we get a real strong southerly flow. That's going to show those temperatures. The warmest day on our 7th day, about 77, mid-70s on that day. As we progress, that trough comes in. That's going to push the wedge out. It's going to bring our next rain chance and also some more cooler weather on the second half of our 7th day. We're going to take a quick look at that in just a bit. It shows it right there.
Fade it up.
Tomorrow on our 7th day, mid-50s, and then we drop into the lower 60s on Monday as well. Tuesday, upper 70s, rain chance moving on Wednesday. Isolated showers and strong storms at times on Wednesday. Temperatures in the lower 70s. And from there, we just take a big plunge in the temperatures into the 50s. More seasonal temperature after for the second half of our week. And our overnight low is also getting back to average. Fish again forecast calls for 2 peaks. One near excellent and one in.
All right, that's fine. Camera 2.
And 2:30 p.m. So
fade it up.
Real pleasant, lots of clouds. Wasn't too cold, wasn't too hot.
All right, stand by.
Really get warm.
Music, stand by BA, then Lotto.
Roller coaster ride.
Roller coaster ride.
Music in.
So much more to come on WGXA.
B.
We return whether it's formal wear or a bridal outfit. They have it all at the Demon Dress Drive. Cheap dresses and a good deal for everyone involved. Plus, the group cleans up some historic sites.
Stand by Lotto.
Around town.
We're going to keep it up for 5.
And how you can lend a hand when WGXA returns.
On Lotto for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fade to black. Stand by 2. Cue CGN.
Welcome back. Georgia Senator
Stand by package of A.
has decided not to seek re-election in 2014. Doug Richards shows us who could fill the senator's shoes to represent the state of Georgia in Washington, D.C.
Now.
He was going on 20 years in Congress, most of it in the U.S. Senate. And after all that, Saxby Chambliss faced a possible challenge from within his own Republican Party for next year's nomination.
Total time of this package is 120.
Chambliss said, enough. I have no doubt that had I decided to be a candidate, I would have won re-election, Chambliss said in a statement. Instead, this is about frustration, both at a lack of leadership from the White House and at the dearth of meaningful action from Congress.
The outcue is a real scramble, a real shaking out there, Going to camera 2, followed by VO and B, Assad and A.
I think it's an opportunity to strengthen not only the Tea Party movement, but to strengthen the Republican Party.
And the Republicans considering the race will come from a who's who of elected leaders.
30 seconds.
From former Governor Sonny Perdue and former Secretary of State Karen Handel to members of Congress like Tom Price,
20 seconds.
Paul Brown, Lynn Westmoreland.
And the outcue is a real shaking out
here. You can have a
here.
domino effect if you have 2, 3, maybe even 4 House Republicans running for the
10
Senate.
seconds.
That opens up their House seats for
Stand by.
Republicans to get involved in. So there could be a real scramble.
Stand by 2. On 2.
Some students at Warner
VO and B.
High School are putting formal wear to good use, I should say.
B.
Earlier in the month, the student council
SOT and A
began
next.
questioning lightly worn formal dresses and bridal wear. Today, they sold the dresses during the 7th annual Demon Dress Drive. The event generates money for charity while also giving young people the opportunity to buy affordable dresses for prom and homecoming.
Now,
all the money that we raise go to children and teens.
Children's Special Fund. Special Fund is the Q.
And this year,
going to camera 1.
Going to HODAC and also to the Houston County Foster Children's Special Fund.
Q. Stand by 1.
People started lining up hours before the doors opened, and it's no wonder each dress was being sold for no more than $50.
Now,
CGN. Additions from around Middle Georgia.
B. VO.
Professionals. Students at
now,
high school and college competed today
SOT
to
next.
perform as a soloist in the Macon Symphony Orchestra. Chinese native Si Hao He of Mercer University won the concerto competition. Si Hao is part of Robert McDuffie's Strings Conservatory.
Stand by SOT
in New York City on February 4th to play at a legendary downtown venue once called the Village Gate Nightclub.
Now, study, here's the Q.
Very glad to have competition here. I'm very happy to study here.
Q. Stand by 1.
This is the 33rd year for the concerto competition, which is typically judged by musicians from the Atlanta area and is open to the public.
On 1. VO and B.
The group of Macon is working to beautify the city's historic parks.
Now,
with the historic Macon
SOT and A next.
out to the Rose Hill Cemetery this morning for one of its scheduled cleanup events. People came to prune rose bushes at the historic site and clean up debris. Chris Howard sits on the Friends of
Stand by SOT and A.
board and says the cleanup is a great opportunity to get outdoors and help keep Macon beautiful.
Now,
I think prettier places in Macon.
What we can to keep it beautiful. Keep it beautiful.
And just as a really beautiful place, and we are just doing what we can to keep it beautiful.
Cue them. Stand by 2. Stand by music for a reader.
Volunteers for its next cleanup event coming in March.
On to music in. Stand by gas. We'll keep it up for 4.
Help from an unlikely person, but is it unlikely? You decide that story when we return.
On gas for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast. All right, that'll work. Stand by camera 2. CGN.
And welcome back. The mayor of
New
Jersey is at it again. First saving people from burning buildings, now dogs from the frigid cold.
On A.
This shivering pooch was spotted
SOT
by
and B
a
next.
news reporter who tweeted to the mayor Thursday night that the dog was cold.
Camera 2, give my 2-2.
So of course, Booker went to the house and got the dog, put it in a police car to help it stay warm. Then he found the owner's cell phone number and told him it was unacceptable to leave animals in the freezing cold.
SOT and B.
The dog's owner was in nearby New York City visiting friends and didn't know the dog named Cha-Cha had gotten out.
Now,
really bad.
Bring it up.
And you just can't leave your dogs out on a day like this and go away.
And I'm like, yeah, about Cha-Cha outside. Cha-Cha outside is the cue.
And I'm like, what he calling me? And I'm like, yes, yeah, of course. And he telling me about Cha-Cha outside.
Cue.
Cha-Cha's owner says he is grateful for the mayor's help.
Fade him up.
It was really pretty cold out there, huh, Corey?
Stand by weather.
Saving the dogs.
We didn't have to worry about that. We were able to wear our short sleeves so that we can bear the 40s in the morning.
That's the only reason why you don't see Mayor Rickard around here grabbing dogs.
But I'm sure if he could, he would.
Yeah,
great guy there. 7-day forecast. Round up the show today. Tomorrow is going to be pretty pleasant. Almost a repeat of today. Just a few degrees cooler, about mid to upper 50s, 56 degrees here in downtown Macon. Lots of clouds. As you head throughout the weeks, we see mid 70s on the map, but at the end of the week, temps get back to seasonal weather, but we do have the chance of some round of some strong storms coming in on Wednesday as well. Overnight temperatures drop back into the 30s, and just as the days get warmer in midweek, so do the overnight temperatures in the upper 50s before they drop back to near freezing for the second half.
Fade them up. Stand by music. Stand by 3 wide.
Roller coaster ride. Thanks, Clinton. Thanks for watching WGXN. Make sure to tune in tomorrow at 10, and of course,
stand by 3 wide. And fade it up. Pull out. What the hell? Stand by to go to black in 2, 1, fade to black. Why the hell did he look at camera 3 like he was an idiot?